All right, let's try this again. The first time I did not have audio. So people that tune in the stream, will you let me know there's audio? And if so, we will start. I had to just watch a quick YouTube tutorial on how to put in audio input. I think I should have a mic now. So anyone that tunes in, let me know that you can hear me. And if you guys can hear me, let's do this. Move this to my other TV real quick. There we go. Pull up my YouTube real fast. Make sure it's working. Anyone that tunes into the stream, please let me know that you guys can hear me. On my channel, we are live. YouTube tutorial on how to put in audio input. We definitely have audio. All right. Here is the fight review for Zoe Nowicki. Let me know, guys, if the mic volume is too loud or if the stream volume is too loud. Fight review for Zoe Nowicki. All right, posted. Actually, let me put it on the team page real quick. Team SFS. Here we go. Fight review, Zoe Nowicki. All right, if anyone's going to be commenting, do so through YouTube, please. I'm going to be watching the YouTube chat. It's a little bit harder for me to see the Twitch chat as it's behind me. Let's get this thing rocking and rolling.
Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, Zoe Nowicki.
Let me know that you guys are getting good audio for the stream, and you're also getting good audio for the mic.
Second fight of the night, and it's pretty rare that you are going to get such marquee names at the bottom of the card.
Sweet.
But we got two of them in this fight here as Zoe Nowicki is coming.
And anybody that jumps on the stream, just take a moment and share it.
This, Peter, a two-time
Let's let as many people watch this
champion. That's a big deal.
as they want to support her.
It's a huge deal. It's, you know, like you said, you don't find this quality of fighters at the beginning of a card often. This is a fight that we have had circled on our calendars since Josh Terry told us it was announced. I'm very excited about this fight, to say the least.
Absolutely, as we take a look at Zoe.
Yeah, shout out to Josh Terry for,
definitely
from
made a name for
CFFC for
herself
making
as
this
a
fight happen.
national wrestling champion. And speaking of names, she's going up against one as we take a look at the tail of the tape, and then we will check out.
All right, awesome,
her
Tyler. You hear both well.
Ronna Gross.
And her opponent, fighting out of the blue corner, Ronna Gross.
So if you guys didn't hear, this is an incredible fight because Zoe's a two-time national wrestling champion. Ronna Heaton-Gross
And
is
here
a
comes Ronna to the cage right now
world team
as
member
both
for USA Wrestling.
and Zoe making their amateur debuts. And Ronna Gross, we talked about names. So Zoe Nowicki, a two-time national wrestling champion. Ronna Gross, her original maiden name was Heaton, is a three-time world team member as a wrestler. Her husband is an assistant wrestling coach for the University of Wisconsin-Madison. I mean, these are big wrestling names that are coming into the cage for just our second fight of the night. And Ronna Gross getting checked out right now.
Yeah, this is an amazing MMA
kind of
debut.
excited to
You
see
just
her
don't see
make
this
her debut
caliber
as
of
well.
Yeah, you never see this. You never see two amateur fighters as decorated as they are debuting against each other. Usually when we see something like this, it's the highly decorated wrestler versus, you know, someone that's been training in MMA for a short period of time. This is a fantastic fight, and
the first time through the fight, I'm going to do like a breakdown,
absolutely.
and then the second time, I'm going to let the fight just play through without me stopping
funny how different fighters will
Anyone that comments in the chat, I'm more than happy to respond to questions that you have or any comments you'd like to make.
As we go up to Ken for the introduction.
3-minute rounds brought to you by 608 Smoke.
For this game plan, by the way, we knew that the wrestling was going to kind of neutralize each other, so we focused heavily on the wall work leading up to this fight, as a lot of people underestimate wall work. They basically consider wall work like wrestling just on the wall, but it is not wrestling on the wall. There's an entire art to wall work in itself, and a lot of camps don't spend enough time there. So I was really telling Zoe throughout the fight camp, we are going to exploit weaknesses that she doesn't realize she has by putting her up against the fence.
Madison, Wisconsin, representing chosen.
And not that I want to say I was underestimating her, but I really didn't think Ronna would have anything to offer at all once it got to the mat in terms of jiu-jitsu. Zoe is picking up her jiu-jitsu very well. She's progressing, extremely quickly, and she trains with really good grapplers on a regular basis. So I wasn't very worried about her getting submitted. I just wanted us to win the wrestling exchanges, bully on the feet, take the center of the cage, drive Ronna back, and utilize the wall.
Cage going at it, and here we go, and we'll see if we go right to.
I'll answer that shortly, Tyler. So as you can see, Zoe comes out. She tries it. Sorry, I was reading a comment. Let's just start this fresh.
Or if they're going to go right to.
So right off the bat, I told Zoe, I want you claim in the center, and you're not backing up. She is backing up. I want you pressuring her. So Zoe maintains a strong stance, pressures her, gets her to the wall. Ronna did a great job of responding there. But Zoe's a little bulldog. She has a super low, center of mass and gravity. She gets the head position. She drives Ronna to the cage.
We got Zoe coming in,
and right off the bat, I mean, she's landing some really good shots. And I want you guys to notice something. Ronna is counter wrestling extremely well right here to not get taken down. But as soon as Zoe starts hitting these situations in a fight where there's like a lull in the action of wrestling, look, she starts hitting her. And that was something I really stressed to Zoe all camp, is like, listen, when you get to these moments where she's trying to go to her bread and butter in her comfort zone, hit her. Make her uncomfortable, and she will make mistakes. Watch Ronna's face as she's being hit. She looks away. She really does not like the impacts, you can tell. Zoe has some amazing head positioning right now. She's doing a great job with her base and her pressure. She's landing those clean inside shots. She's letting Ronna know she's in a fight right here.
Sometimes we see that just play out on the feet, but right now,
outstanding head position, great pressure. We're a little bit to the left right now for my liking, but
wanted to keep it on the feet.
Yeah, and I think Gross might be better served.
I would love for Zoe's head, guys, when we're here, to be right here, driving her into the wall. That'll allow her body to be able to square up a little bit more and gives her opponent less options to escape outward. Plus, there's not a counter throw across the middle.
A lot of times you can use that, but you got to stay at distance and not let your opponent get in. That's easier said than done.
You can see Zoe's weight distribution is fantastic, though. Ronna is trying to move her.
So a very low center of gravity and kind of built like a fire plug. I mean,
very nice. Turns her back to the wall, dominating with that underhook, and just bullies her there. So Ronna, if you watch here, Ronna almost goes for like the Uchimata variation here. Watch. She goes Uchimata there to try to kick. Now, if Ronna really committed to this, I actually believe she could execute this. But if you notice, she's hitting the Uchimata at the knee. That's pretty bad technique. You want to use the top of your hamstring, and you want to let your hips like face away from your opponent. Use the top of the hamstring and elevate their center line as high as possible. When you only kick out from the knee, it's not that hard to be able to base down on your other leg and recover your base. And that's exactly what Zoe does. And now, because she's recovered off this line, she is going to have the hip advantage, and she immediately takes control and starts bullying with that underhook. And as you can see, takes Ronna to the mat.
She does get that takedown that she wanted.
Does a phenomenal job of keeping her there. And then look at, as soon as Ronna starts to mount resistance, just like I talked about earlier. Oh, you're starting to counter wrestle well? Guess what? Punch her in the face. That makes Ronna start to bail. Now Zoe does a good job here of just accepting the half guard. I would have loved if she would have kept the other leg trapped, but hey, we end up in the guard, sticks her head right in the cage. This is what we want. I want people to understand that when you are wedged into the cage like this with your head and neck up, it's an advantageous position for the person on top. If her entire back was up, she can use the wall to wall work up and look to get up. Or if her head, if we moved her a foot this direction, she could have really good ability to swivel both sides. When your head is wedged like this, you don't create angles nearly as effectively. And generally, once you pick a side, you almost get wedged on that side. So this is great placement on his own. lands a great shot to the stomach there, and then goes back up to the head. I like her attacking both levels. Attack the body, attack the head. Ronna's clearly looking for an armbar on Zoe's left arm. I remember telling her that repeatedly. And I don't know her jiu-jitsu proficiency. Like, I was kind of shocked she never actually threw any submission attempts, because she made it look to me like she was going to try to armbar. So Zoe's playing very patient here. Zoe was almost giving her too much respect for her jiu-jitsu. She didn't want to open. Look, it stuffs her face into the wall again. I mean, that is just excellent. Grinding her a little bit here, establishing dominance in these positions.
Yeah, you don't want your head up against the cage, and her coach has said on multiple occasions now, put her head back up against the fence, and she's done it immediately.
She's doing a great job here, just getting comfortable. I mean, you got to remember, this is her first ever MMA fight, both girls. So Zoe's like finding her comfort in here. Now she starts to stand up, which is what we like. Starts to drop some shots. Ronna's trying to kick off. Beautiful job re-engaging.
On the back, maybe the side there of Gross.
That we should break down and look at a little bit. Okay, so you can see we're in good position here. We're in good position here. As soon as Ronna starts to get this leg out, we know that we cannot allow this arm to get to the inside. If Zoe keeps this underhook, it's not that big of an issue, because almost at any point with this underhook, she can still win the lower body battle. But if you watch right here, Ronna is still able to turn and get that leg. We wanted to keep enough pressure so that she can't utilize that arm. And if we can't with our arm, you can actually place your knee in the gap, or you could take a big step back over the leg and circle more behind your opponent. Ronna does an amazing job here of turning this situation around, and she actually wrestles through, takes Zoe's back, gets the takedown. Zoe almost a little cage grab there, but it didn't change the fight in any way. Throws a couple strikes, but if you watch, Zoe does an amazing job to immediately wrestle back to her feet, get back to her underhook, 3, 4, 5, land shots of her own, head position, finishes the round. I want you guys to see that transition one more time. That was really clean. So look, I'll let you watch the whole thing. So Ronna, you know what? Let's just watch the entire transition. So Zoe ended up on top. Ronna is a great wrestler, because to wrestle out of this position as smoothly as she does, I mean, that's fantastic. She's able to finish this takedown. But now watch the response of Zoe. Right away. Inside, clears her left arm across, gets back to what she wants, circles, wins the head position, and starts hitting her again. Fantastic work. Tyler, you had asked a question about Tristan's weight. He's working on it, man. It's definitely a battle for him. He's trying to make some life changes. You know, he's training extremely hard. He is growing as a man and as a fighter. You know, I can't wait to see him back in the cage. He was in the corner with me on this one, and he really brought some fantastic energy. So here's the replay, guys. Look at this. There's that Uchimata attempt. This angle is better for me to show you guys how to fix that Uchimata. When you go Uchimata, look here. See how she's trying to elevate the knee? This is just a very weak attempt. She needs to rotate her hips so they were almost facing this direction, and use the very tip of her hamstring in Zoe's almost center line, like at the very top where the leg meets the center, and you're going to kick that to the ceiling as you rotate the upper body and drive with the forearm. If you don't really commit to it, the person is just going to fix their base, and now they're going to step through and bully you, and that's exactly what happened. And then the moment there's any type of, you know, pause in the wrestling scrambles, Zoe starts punching her in the face. No, she definitely grabbed the cage a little, but it didn't change the outcome of anything.
Maybe took some effect out of that takedown. The referee just came over and
so I was telling her in between rounds, I said, listen to me. You can tell that she's comfortable in her scrambles, but do you notice how uncomfortable she becomes when you're hitting her with shots? I was like, capitalize on the stuff, you know, that you see open. Make sure you stay tight with your fundamentals, but when you have an opportunity, make sure you hit this girl. She will make mistakes.
For round number 2 between Nowicki and Gross.
So that round was an easy round 1 for us, no question about it. We won the first round. All right, here we go. We come back out. We're taking the center.
You know, and I'm not seeing the jitters that we say, and that probably goes because they fought at, you know,
Ronna, I don't know who's training or striking, but
nice jab,
those kicks really tell me she doesn't want to engage in much of this stand-up battle. Again, look at, we get into that pause situation, Zoe lands a big right hand.
to more of wrestling and grappling. But
back to the wall. We get that strong underhook, quality body positioning, head position exactly where we need it on the jaw. Ronna keeps trying to step over, which is maybe it works for her traditionally, but not on someone like Zoe. Right back down. Look at this. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I mean, Zoe is pounding her right now. Let's watch this again. The moment she takes her down again, I think this was a little bit of a mental lapse on Ronna. When she gets bullied to the mat again, I think for a second, you know, she's probably in her own head, and she's like, oh my god, am I going to have another round of this? And Zoe just instantly capitalized. Look at this. Bullies her to the mat. Now watch. Just starts, oh, you're going to wrestle with me? Let's bring in the ground and pound. And these are good shots. Look at right under the arm, around the arm, under the arm. That is high-level ground and pound IQ out of Zoe for being so new to know. Go under the arm, go around the arm. But again, watch Ronna's wrestling ability. This is fantastic. Zoe right now has her in a pretty decent position. She goes to transition as the camera's out of place. And bam, instantly Ronna can reverse it.
And being able to get reversals against
you can
Nowicki.
See the quality of Ronna's wrestling in these transitions. Zoe here is in on almost like a heel hook attempt, but she doesn't really know how to use them effectively yet. But she's able to, like, she's neutralizing almost all these punches because nothing's really landing. At this point, Zoe has to either commit to the leg or she has to just spin through and look for a half guard. And what I mean by that is, let's pause it for a second. Okay, so she either has to kick this leg really hard towards me and then look to go like under on the other leg, or just move Ronna enough under her hands here that we can create a scramble, or we need to kick this leg hard down, lower this hip to the mat, and accept our half guard, and then maybe work to like a full or an underhook or anything like that. And that's what she opts to do. So she goes to her half. Now we have to get that arm across the body into our underhook position, or we have to play our guard. She elects to go to guard.
Gets the guard now.
Good instructions coming in from both corners as well, and we could hear.
So now Zoe's got her guard, and I'll tell you what, Zoe's brand new to jiu-jitsu, but she is quickly becoming formidable at her, you know, with her grappling skills as well. Grappling meaning her jiu-jitsu skills as well. So she is a real threat off her back. Any of her teammates will tell you, like, she's got some crafty arm bars. She knows some different submissions. Ronna's doing a great job here. She's really starting to pour the pressure on. As soon as she backs her hips up for a second, Zoe springs up. She creates this table position, which is crucial. And you can see the inexperience from Ronna in the wall work understanding, because the moment Zoe starts to turn here, she chases the upper body versus controlling the leg that is going to work to get to the wall. Once Zoe can get to this table right here, right there, it's really hard to keep someone down from this position. Very, very difficult. So now, and Ronna's only in the upper body. We're going to be able to stand.
At least defend herself here as we're inside of a minute.
Zoe's going to work her way up here. Now, from this position, I would really love to see right away, this arm we can hard spin towards our left because she can't follow us with the cage in the way, and would reestablish our underhook on the far side. Like, basically try to get belly to belly to make it make sense to you guys. But Zoe elects to stay in this position.
Fight of 14 here.
Ronna's trying to create more chain wrestling scrambles. This is like classic, you know, wrestler engagement, trying to win these scrambles. Ronna chases the back here, but she goes way too high. She actually almost fell completely off, but if you watch it, her face saves her from falling off. Everybody watch her face. Ready? Dink. So she didn't fall all the way off, but at this point, Zoe's in almost no danger of the choke. There would be an armbar attempt if Ronna's jiu-jitsu was higher level, but we were not worried about the armbar at all. Ronna actually could have grabbed this leg and created some issues for us, but at this point, Zoe's not in danger. There's only 10 seconds on the clock. I'm like, okay, we gave up this round. I give this round to Ronna. Okay, that was a creative little way to land a couple ground and pound.
Left hand to get to the side of the head of Gross to finish that second round. All right,
now we're going into the third, and I know for a fact it's 1-1. Here's some replays. Again, bullies her with this underhook. And now watch these. I mean, she lands like 15 strikes around the arm, under the arm, around. I mean, she was hammering her right there. And then Ronna did a phenomenal job of winning this scramble. And then Ronna lands maybe 4 or 5 punches here and before Zoe kicks off and gets back to it.
Nowicki's getting the better of it on the ground when landing ground and pound. Gross is getting best of it during her reversals.
I agree with the commentators there. I feel like the stabilized positions Zoe has been controlling and kind of dominating when the positions are controlled. And Ronna's been doing an amazing job on their scrambles.
I think she holds an advantage in the striking.
So we're going into the third. It's clearly 1-1. I went into the corner at the end of the round and I said to Zoe, I was like, listen, it's clearly 1-1. It's going to be the last 3 minutes. I looked at her dead in the face and I said, can you beat this girl? Because I wanted her mind to have to vocalize, yes, I can beat this girl. And Zoe actually said, fuck yes, I can. And I was like, then go and do it. And here we go, third round. We had to win this round to win the fight. So again, comes out. There's those front kicks again. You know what that's reminiscent of is like Hoist Gracie at like UFC 1 used to throw those kicks. Ronna was punching with a lot of emotion and very like keep this girl off me. I actually liked the way that she was striking better that round than any other round. You can see the frustration in her face. She knows we're trying to create more of the same.
We've seen this in every round where Nowicki just gets in, puts her against the fence.
Working the body a little bit here. I like this. Zoe's pressure and ability to keep her body in strong position here is outstanding. And this is exactly what we talked about all fight camp. I said, listen, this girl will underestimate how different it is to wrestle against a wall. I promise you, she's not thinking she has to really wrestle a ton to beat you in this fight. She's probably training her striking. She might be doing some jiu-jitsu. I was like, we are going to bully her on the wall. And that's, we really were able to do that in this fight. Like, you can look in her face. She's looking to her corner kind of for answers like, okay, how do I solve this? I can't get my hips back and do all the things I would normally do in a wrestling match.
Fighting forward, getting out of a potential choke.
Great control here.
Gross, just
a common thing that I'll say to my fighters is like, don't solve people's problems for them. If you've got someone on the wall and they're not able to solve the problem, that's their problem. Let them get a little desperate, make mistakes, try to, come up with an answer, etc. But don't solve their problems. There's that Uchimata attempt again. I didn't even know she threw that in the third round. Let me look at that again. I didn't even know she threw that.
Absolutely, there's a couple of knees now coming in as well.
Yeah, see, if I'm Ronna's coach, first of all, we got to fix that Uchimata because it's too much by the knee. We need to go extremely high and we need to launch it. And as you do, you need to be throwing this shoulder down and across and rotating with this forearm and upper body as much as possible because you have to elevate this hip and leg to the point where it truly off balances your opponent. Or you can go Haraya Goshi. You can step the leg instead of through the middle, step it completely across both legs and fully commit with your whizzer, and you can send people flying. The first time it didn't work out, she goes for it again. It doesn't work out again. What happens? More of the same. Look at the position we find ourselves in. Bang, bang. Like, so what she keeps doing keeps failing her. We got to stay behind that arm again now. Keep your left arm behind that arm. Nice. Now Zoe should step her leg out. Oh, see, there is an error. We should look at that and analyze that, guys.
And I tell you what, right now, I mean, Gross is just spending a lot of this round up again.
God.
And once again, you don't want to be there. And
okay, if you can see now, guys, her leg is in a compromised position, right? She's already partially stepped over. So we either have to free this leg or we have to be really, really intelligent about keeping this arm from coming into the battle. Because if she can get this arm in, now all of a sudden she has leg control here. She's going to have leg control here.
Tell you what, right now, I mean,
and look at Zoe takes it out to punch her. But that's going to expose the leg. And now what happens? Bang! She gets exposed. I can't believe that Ronna can wrestle through these positions as well as she can.
Against the cage. Absolutely.
Oh, Zoe, beautiful job with the underhook. Actually stops that attempt. But Ronna is a great chain wrestler. A scramble wrestler in particular. I'm sure she's a very good chain wrestler too. Great job with the half there. Threatening the neck a little bit with the guillotine. I mean, Zoe is just inflicting dominance through the positions and not really forcing anything she doesn't have.
What has been a pretty even fight.
Ronna's getting a little bit desperate with like a shot attempt like that. Good cross face.
Nowicki
Oh,
again,
nice job by Ronna again. Look at, and there's that scramble wrestling.
Gotta love these
Outstanding.
scrambles.
I mean, this is just, we need to watch that transition again because that is just fantastic.
What has been a pretty even fight.
So Ronna knows she's down. She would need this last 45 seconds to be really big for her at this point. Nice, good cross face. Ronna wrestles through, turns the corner. Zoe, gets the back, tries the tripper. Zoe beats her with her hips, turns her, sprawl back. Yes, the only mistake Zoe made there was at the very end of that transition. She shouldn't have stepped back in. As soon as she ended up here, you're winning. Okay, get super heavy on that whizzer, stuff that head. She's not going to out-wrestle you from this position. Zoe goes to step over, and by stepping too far, she overextends her base, and she's able to be taken down. Now, if Ronna really did tremendous damage in the last 25 seconds, maybe she could persuade the judges. But if you watch, Zoe is actually more effective from her guard than Ronna is. Ronna's done nothing so far. Zoe, beautiful armbar attempt. We need to look at that. Let's watch that whole thing. So look at, I was telling you about Zoe's jiu-jitsu earlier. Okay, look, she captures the tricep. She frames the head. She brings the hips. She gets a, that's actually a decent bite. First armbar she's ever thrown in competition. That's a decent bite. Yeah, that's solid. Now, this leg needed to be a little bit more up the chest, and we could be hammering down more over the head and upper by the shoulder blades with this leg, pinching the knees. But, like, this is the first armbar she's ever thrown in competition. Yeah, that's not... Right there, if she really bites the head down with this, hips all the way through, pulling with her wrist to wrist, she might actually damage that arm. And now... I asked her after, hey, when she picked you up, why did you let go? Like, what made you? And she goes, oh, well, I thought if she slammed me, like, I was just going to lose it anyway. And I was like, no, a lot of times when she slams you, she's going to put herself deeper into it, and you can just belly down and finish. And there it is. After the decision, I'm going to let you guys watch it through one time uninterrupted. Excellent.
Number 21 here on TVW.
Let's see it.
Replay here from the third round.
She threw that overhand with some sauce on it. Look at those Uchimata attempts failed Ronna twice.
We've got some good ones here tonight.
Yes.
Gabriel
Excellent.
Cepeda sitting right next to me.
And like I said, nothing that I say in this video is in disrespect to Ronna. The girl is an absolute savage and a stud. It's just, I actually think she made some decisions that had she not made, the fight would have been even closer than it already was. And I mean, it was a very close fight. I thought we clearly won rounds 1 and 3.
Well, let's see how they did decide.
But it was a great fight.
To Ken Bostetter.
All right, ladies and gentlemen,
I knew it was going to be 29-28 unanimous as we went to the judges' scorecards. And remember, Zoe traveled into this girl's hometown.
Scorecards for a decision. All 3 judges score the contest. 29-28 for the fighter. Fighting out of the red corner, Zoe Nowicki.
She starts crying. I go over there. I said, what are you crying about? This is your moment. Stand proud.
Nowicki able to take that third and final round. And
honestly, all the hard work and all the emotions that go into the sport, they come out right when that hand is raised because it's like, oh my God, I did it. Shout out to Andrew Garcia. After his debut fight, he just started screaming, I did it. I fucking did it.
Top-level competitors, you know, you put a lot into it.
Can we get you in here?
You understand.
Absolutely. And let's
all right.
from the winner.
I'm going to not,
wrestling clinic between the
you know what?
That was amazing.
You guys can hear.
Tell me how you're feeling after getting all these jitters out, your debut fight. How you feeling?
Oh, what's up, Tydona? He said, is that the Jiu-Jitsu 1987?
I feel amazing.
Me in the flesh, brother.
So much this fight camp in my personal life. 6 weeks ago, I didn't know if I could step into this cage, and I'm here tonight.
No joke, guys. She's not kidding with what she's saying. Zoe almost pulled out of this fight. Zoe was saying to me, listen, I have so much going on. I don't know if I can do this. I might have to just fight on another date. And then she stepped up. She went out there. She got the job done. So here we go. I'll let you guys one more time, uninterrupted, enjoy the fight.
go in there. I'm not sure.
I didn't realize
that they're
my
gonna
face
have quite
probably
the
wasn't
same
on
jitters.
camera the
They've
whole
really
time.
battled
I
a
was sitting
lot
too
in
low
their
in my
careers
chair.
outside of a cage. First time in the cage,
All
they're
right, let's
going
go.
at it, and
Let's
here
just
we
watch
go.
the fight.
And we'll see if we go right to wrestling, both of them with the wrestling background, or if they're going to go ahead and strike. Nah, we don't need any of that. We're going to go right to the mat, aren't
I've
we?
never heard the commentary. I'm going to actually turn it up a little and listen.
That would be my guess, but right now, Ronna doesn't want to go down quite yet, as we got Zoe coming in on her and landing some shots using that right hand. I tell you what, Gross with the reach and height advantage, but that's not going to matter here because she let Nowicki get inside.
Absolutely. You know, when we see two fighters that are, you know, wrestling based heavy, sometimes we see that just play out on the feet, but right now it's it looks like one wants to go for the takedowns, Nowicki wants to go for the takedown, and Gross wanted to keep it on the feet.
Yeah, and I think Gross might be better served to do that. Again, having that height and reach advantage, a lot of times you can use that, but you got to stay at distance and not let your opponent get in. That's easier said than done, especially with someone like Nowicki. I tell you, 5'1", she's low to the ground, so a very low center of gravity and kind of built like a fire plug. I mean, people like that sometimes are really hard to keep off of you. And she does get that takedown that she wanted, and she's driving Gross right into the cage, right in front of us here in our position, as she is able to go ahead and get into top mount. So Gross now definitely on the defensive. Yeah,
this is right in front of the corner again. You can hear her coach giving instructions.
And now she's using that corner to her advantage. She definitely is listening to her corner right away, as Nowicki getting the best of Gross right now, landed a couple shots, one to the belly, one to the head, and still in top mount as Gross doing her best just to keep Nowicki at bay.
Guys, wait until she's super comfortable with her jiu-jitsu defense that she can
Gross
start
looking
just
to use her
hammering girls
hands
with
to
ground
get
and
out of
pound.
this position right now. Nowicki doing her best to even keep Gross up against that cage. An uncomfortable position right now if you're Gross to be in. I mean, it's different when you're a wrestler. You don't have to worry about that cage and your neck going up against it.
Yeah, you don't want your head up against the cage, and her coach has said on multiple occasions now, put her head back up against the fence, and she's done it immediately. So she's obviously hearing instructions very well.
And so now Nowicki again on top, and sometimes you'll see a fighter slam another fighter down, and she got a couple shots in, and now trying to get on the back, maybe the side there of Gross. Gross looking to hook that leg and get out of it. She's able to reverse it and now put Nowicki down.
And now it's payback time.
Here come the shots from Gross, who was on her back, and now both fighters back up to their feet, and good solid action. The final few seconds of round number one, and the crowd loved the reversal from Gross at the end
Love that first
of
round.
the first
That was
round.
all
We'll
us.
come back,
There was
check out
maybe
round number two after this
15
on the Chosen
seconds
Few
of
Fighting
action for Ronna.
Championships on TVW.
Like I said, the huge thing. The huge thing was
Taking a look at the
dominate the
replay
wall,
right there, as we
hit
saw
her in the
early on,
face, make her
Nowicki was able to get inside against Gross, and then for much of the round, she used that to her advantage.
I'm so glad we did
Absolutely, and then when
as much
Gross
wall
got
work
the
as we did
position on
this
the back,
camp
it
because
looked as though
it went
Nowicki
almost
may have grabbed the
exactly
cage
as I
there a little
expected
bit.
it to.
And maybe took some effect out of that takedown. The referee just came over and gave a warning. And that's what we like to see. We don't want to see points taken away. Give a verbal warning, get back to business.
Yeah, Tom's usually pretty good about that and was able to keep the action going. So both fighters have survived their first round as their corners exit.
By the way, I
ready
really
for
hope Ronna
round
keeps fighting
number
MMA.
two
I think these
between
girls will
Nowicki
meet again at a
and
very
Gross.
high level. If they end up being the same weight class,
Reversal at the
but
end,
both
maybe
of them
saving the
will be
round for
absolute
Gross, but most
savages
of that
if they keep
round
training.
was dominated by Nowicki.
If I'm
You know,
Ronna's
and I'm
coach,
not
though,
seeing
I
the
would have
jitters
her
that we see,
working
and that's
her
probably
boxing and her
because
hands
they
like
fought at,
crazy,
you know,
and
high
not
level
so much her
competition
kicks
before the
until she
wrestling
gets really
backgrounds.
comfortable with her
Nice
hands.
jab from
Because she
Gross.
kept putting herself in like not great
Gross was
position.
pretty
with those
comfortable
kicks.
striking, as Nowicki definitely wanting to get inside and get to more of wrestling and grappling, but Gross, who wanted to keep her at length. I think she will learn to do that as she gains a little bit more experience.
And everyone that ends up watching this video, make sure you share it. Support Zoe's young career.
So
this is a girl you'll see fighting on TV one day. I've trained men and women all the way to UFC. I've trained a girl that was the #1 ranker in the United States of America.
Some of those are getting through as
Zoe
well
is going to
as
be a
Nowicki is
serious
scoring.
problem.
So Zoe right now on top, but there comes a reversal again from Gross. I tell you what, Gross is doing a nice job not panicking and being able to get reversals against Nowicki.
Yeah, this is high-level grappling right here, that's for sure. Gross gets the reversal, is looking to get the mount.
And now Gross is the one landing the shots, but almost in an armbar there as she almost made a mistake. Gross going to put some weight down on Nowicki right now, as she has the advantage here and using a good job with her left leg to gain leverage on Nowicki.
Now go full guard, Zoe. Zoe, full
So
guard.
again, good.
This is a great position for Gross. She can stay in the half guard position and ride it out.
Yeah.
Zoe gets the guard now.
Good instructions coming in from both corners as well, and we could hear Nowicki's corner right next to us shouting out instructions for Nowicki to stay in that full guard, and we'll see what Gross is going to do with it. Gross now a nice job. She was able to push Nowicki up against the cage, and turnabout is fair play, where we saw Gross's head and neck up against the cage in round number 1. Now it's Nowicki.
It is
in
pretty
that
funny that it's almost
spot.
the identical thing in round 2.
Mirror image of the first round.
And now a couple of shots rained down by Gross, but Nowicki quick to at least defend herself here as we're inside of a minute for round number 2. Second fight of 14 here from Monona Terrace, as both fighters now going back down to the mat, and it looks like Gross still has the back and the advantage here.
She's a little high up and she gets shaken off here. 25 seconds, see if she can hold on.
Gross looking for that rear naked choke here, as I don't think she got
too
it.
high right now.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think she's got it underneath there, and so she's not going to be able to get it, but definitely with the advantage, and a better round here for Ronna Gross here in round number 2. We've seen her land some good shots and have the advantage. Nowicki using the good left hand to get to the side of the head of Gross to finish that
This
second
last round, it was all
third
about
and final round action.
who wants it
coming up
more and
on
who's going to work the
TVW.
game plan. Clearly 1-1.
Checking out the action from round
These
number
shots
2, and
were
again,
awesome.
it was Nowicki with the early takedown, and then Gross able to get the reversal again. So Peter, what we're seeing, you called it high-level grappling. That's exactly what it is, isn't it? I mean, we're seeing takedowns, reversals, a lot of wrestling terminology being used.
Yeah, this is a chess match on the ground. I think Nowicki's getting the better of it on the ground when landing ground and pound. Gross is getting better best of it during her reversals.
So what do we need to see from either fighter to gain the advantage here in round number 3? What are you expecting?
I think Nowicki's going to try and close the distance, get in close, do what she's been doing. But if Gross can keep this on the feet, I think she holds it on the striking. She's got the reach. So let's interested to see if she can put that jab in her face to start this last round off.
Yeah, I think that she's trying to keep distance the first couple of rounds. Hasn't been
Those
able
are
to do it. She
literally
comes out
Hoist
with a
Gracie
kick, a
kicks.
couple of
Go back and
shots,
watch
too,
like
left and a right,
UFC
good
1 or even like
but
old school,
Nowicki eating some of those punches and coming in and then
videos,
getting
and that
close.
was the
So
Hoist
Nowicki's had
Gracie
to take
kick
some
that
shots and
Ronna
some
is bringing
punishment
back.
to get there, but eventually she does get there and right up on the body of Gross.
And we've seen this now for this is the 3rd round. We've seen this in every round where Nowicki just gets in, puts her against the fence. It'll be interesting to see if they stay in this position, whether time will separate them.
So Gross trying to stay on her feet here. Nowicki looking for the takedown. She's got a couple in each of the first 2 rounds.
She's gotta watch that neck.
Yeah, she let that neck go, and now Gross looking to end it right here and to get underneath that neck of Nowicki, and she's not in that bad of a position at this point.
Now, one thing we know about the Chosen Few, Jim, though, you leave your neck out, you're going to go to sleep. A la Alex Gilpin.
Maybe I was
Every time it
being
seems
overly
like,
confident, but I didn't think there was a chance in the
you're gonna
world
be in big trouble.
after about
As
1 minute of seeing
again,
Ronna's
Nowicki
jiu-jitsu that
doing
she
a
would
good
be able
job
to
at
sub
least
Zoe.
fighting forward, getting out of a
But
potential
I
choke.
was definitely
keeping the
respecting
pressure
her
up
ability to
against
wrestle
Gross, just
through and
leaning
win
her
scrambles.
body in and her weight up against Gross.
You can also tell
trying
just
to
how
fight her way
much
out of
she
it,
does
but
not like to be
Nowicki's
hit. Like
not
every
letting
time
her
she
breathe.
gets hit, she reacts very,
Gross has to get her back off the
majorly
fence.
to the impact.
Absolutely. There's a couple of knees now coming in as well.
Those Uchimatas, man, they
And
put her
Gross
in a
now
lot
on
of
top
trouble.
and using a left hand here to punish Gross as
She's built
her
to have
neck
an
was in an
amazing
awkward position
Uchimata
once
too.
again.
Or
You don't
like I said, a
wanna be there up
Haraya-Goshi
against the
across the
cage. And I
both
tell you
legs,
what, right
she
now, I
would
mean,
send
Gross is
people
just spending a lot of
flying.
this round up against the cage.
Absolutely. And we've seen Gross get out of this position twice now, able to get the reversal, but right now Nowicki's in charge.
Coming up on the final minute of the fight, and if there was ever a time for a reversal here from Gross, it would be right here, right now, not leaving it to the end, because this could be the third and deciding round between these two, and what has been a pretty even fight.
Zoe, pressing the wall. Look for your body lock for me. Yes, around the back.
Nowicki again looking to get on the back of Gross.
You
Gross
just
now,
don't
there's
see
that
this
reversal
level of
again.
wrestling and
Gotta love these
women's
scrambles.
amateur
This
in
is high-level
general, but
wrestling.
amateur debuts.
Then it's
never.
Nowicki, then it's Gross, and good action here. And the crowd responds in kind to some excellent wrestling by both of these grapplers.
Holding her face. This was such
Gross
a
has
good
got a
armbar
lot of
attempt for her
strikes. Oh,
first
armbar.
armbar ever. She is going to.
And that armbar
Zoe
might
will
end it
armbar
right here.
people in her
Gross in a
amateur
bit of
career.
trouble. No,
I
able to
guarantee
shake
it.
out of it and get back on top. We're inside of 10 seconds now. We'll see if a final flurry can help Gross out. Instead, it's Nowicki
Gets
getting
the
the
job
better of the
done.
shots at the
Ladies
end of
and
the fight.
gents.
So a good fight, and we'll see how it.
Ladies and gentlemen, 1-0, Zoe Nowicki, amateur debut. You can watch this entire fight, Chosen Few Fighting Championships. Just search her name, or obviously use this video, share it. I can't wait to see her compete again. Zoe's already come back to the gym. She's already back to regular training, and she's saying to me, hey, when can I get in the cage again? You know, she's a true competitor. She trains like a professional fighter already, and I believe she has an incredible future ahead. So if you enjoyed this video, please share it. You know, support Zoe. You can follow her on Facebook or Instagram. If you subscribe to my channel, I really appreciate it. I always try to do these fight reviews when our people compete. I wish I could do them for Josh Parisian, our UFC guy, and a couple of our other pros, but sometimes, unfortunately, those videos, they don't allow me to share them. So if you've lived under a rock, you're unaware that November 5th, we head back to Las Vegas. Josh Parisian is his next UFC fight. He takes on Chase Sherman. It's going to be a great fight. We're doing everything in preparation for this fight. We think we have a great game plan. And we actually have the debut of another female going to be fighting out of our academy. Her name is Fallon Johnson. She is a purple belt of jiu-jitsu, clean striker. I mean, she's just a solid amateur female that I can't wait to see her career unfold as well. So thank you guys for all the love and support that you always show SFS. Thank you to all the members of the Michigan Institute of Athletics. Thank you to all of our fans and followers. And we will wrap this stream up.